over here now. John, Rowley, you're going to have to take yourself off of mute, buddy, but it's your turn to be the next contestant on Bring the Neat.
I am here.
Hey, Jackie, good morning, by the way.
Hi.
All right. Hey, John, do you have earphones handy? Little plugins?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you fine. There's just a slight echo, but if you don't have them handy, don't worry about it.
It's not a big deal.
Let me see if can I switch to this speaker? Is there a way to do that?
Oh, that's perfect.
That's
yeah,
even better.
Right
That is perfect. Yeah.
Look at you.
Let me see if I can do that.
Go ahead. You play with that, and let me just talk about how awesome you are for a second.
Okay, take your time with that one.
Yeah, no problem. Jackie, John's daughter, is awesome. You see her bouncing around the back over there. We've had the experience of hanging out and working with each other. But John and I have been friends for, it's actually almost just about 1 year. It may be our 1 year anniversary of actually meeting. And John is intense. He is, I would say, not only one of the coolest people I know, but one of the most endearing, successful, sharing, caring individuals you'll ever meet in your life. He's an accomplished author. He's an accomplished of everything. I'm not going to get into crazy with him, but he's intense. And what you're going to hear from him right now should get you so pumped up for a spring lifestyle and living and feeling good about yourself. I'll just tell the quick story. We got on to do a quick 2-minute hangout the other day to record, and we ended up talking for an hour and 20 minutes before we recorded our 2-minute conversation. So you can imagine how much fun that conversation was. So let me just turn it over to you, and John, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I love it when you do that. Well, I know we're talking about spring cleanup and getting ready for, the summer. How is the volume on this? Is that pretty good?
It's perfect.
Okay, good. And I think a good part of that is making sure that you yourself are in good shape and healthy. It's a good time of year to be able to take advantage of that. And I just got interviewed by Ladies Home Journal, one of those magazines, and that was one of the things they were asking about. How do you get fit and healthy? How do you clean out your house and make it easy for yourself? And so it's on everybody's mind lately. So I think a good way to start is clean out your cupboards. Typically the wives are in charge of that. I know in my house my wife is. Put the healthy food where it's easy to get to, and then the stuff that's not so healthy in places where it's not so easy to get to. I think it'll be better for you and for your family as well. So, just along those lines. Am I set up right here on this? I can't even know if I'm...
No, you're perfect, John. Okay. Don't you worry about anything.
Okay. So, I think getting ready for, spring cleaning, everybody thinks about, cleaning their house out, cleaning their office out, getting their clothes out, putting the winter clothes away and bringing the summer clothes out. Well, if you want to look good in your summer clothes, it would be a good idea to spring clean the kitchen, spring clean your refrigerator, your cupboards. Start bringing in healthy food and start eating right. And it's easy to do.
Right.
So
you got easy to do, and it's simple to do. Some people, they come up with obstacles and they put themselves in front of their own efforts over there. But it's really not that complicated to eat healthy. It's don't eat the bad food.
Let me give you a 30-second way to eat healthy.
Go ahead.
You can skip every diet book with the exception of mine, of course. I've got one coming out. I suggest that you read that and you buy it and you tell your friends about it. But the bottom line is you can tell people how to eat healthy in a text message. Eat all the lean protein that you want. Eat all the green vegetables that you want. Drink all the water that you want. Get some healthy fats in from olive oil and from coconut oil, sources like that. Eat some almonds to get some healthy fats in. That's it. If you eat like that, you'll be about as lean and healthy as you want to be. Now, obviously, if you're into physique transformation or body composition, having a little more muscle versus a little less, then there's some tips and tricks that you can do along those lines. But it really doesn't get a whole more complicated than that. If you want to do body transformation, you want to build your muscles, have a half a yam after your workout. If you're lifting heavy, that's as simple as it gets. It's not a whole lot harder than that.
Right. And people complicate things with all kinds of crazy suggestions and then all different kinds of meal plans. But your approach is really just take it simple.
Well, when you're a D student, you take things simple. You try to figure out the easiest way to do things, And let's face it, the diet industry itself is a minimum, a $200 billion a year business.
Right.
So it's a cash cow. So it pays to confuse people.
Right.
So I look at business. When I went into Manhattan real estate, I looked at business. Okay, what's everybody else doing? I went the opposite direction, became very successful. I did the same thing in the gym business. In the fitness industry, I'm doing the same thing. My goal is really to simplify it. It's not really a strategy. I don't feel like reading all the science books. I've read them. But when I read a diet book or a fitness book and it sounds like a textbook that belongs in a college, personally, I'm reading the wrong thing. It's not telling me what I need to know. I think what most people want to see from somebody like myself, or, well, you too, they don't want to know the science behind it. They don't want to know what you think. Who cares what you think? They want to know what to do. And more importantly, how do you do it? Because the bottom line is, I know most of the top authors out there, whether it be in fitness or self-help and in other genres. I know a lot of New York Times best-selling authors. A lot of them are personal friends of mine. Most of them do not do what they talk about in their book. So for me, it's more interesting to find out, actually, what do you do? Because if you do something, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, but what they write about isn't typically what they do.
Right, right. And of course, like, when people want to go ahead and do when they plan on it and they think about it and they actually set themselves out to do some type of, call it a change in diet or a change in an exercise program, or not even a change in exercise program, but to start an exercise program, what are some of the key things that you would tell someone to look for, aside from just the simplifying of the diet, but like in an exercise program, which direction would you head in if you haven't exercised in like the past 10 years and you're like, enough is enough, I got to do something?
Well, I think everybody's into efficiency. Everybody's busy. Everybody in this call is busy. I know gathering this group of people together was hard for you because everybody's very busy. And I know you appreciate them being here, and we all appreciate you inviting us. But efficiency is key.
Right.
Stay off the treadmill. Most people go into the gym and do the treadmill because you press start and you walk, and it's the easiest thing to do. Learn how to do some resistance exercise. When you hear all these people, Dr. Oz, or everybody talks about your metabolism like it's some mystical thing. Well, your metabolism is your muscles. The more muscle you have, the quicker your metabolism is. The less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism is. Plain and simple. You don't need a doctorate. You don't need to be a doctor, and you certainly don't need to be Dr. Oz to figure it out. If you have a little bit of muscle, you're going to burn more calories at rest than you do if you don't have a little bit of muscle. So the key is build a little bit of muscle, get into the gym, do some resistance exercises, look for a program that makes sense. You don't need to have somebody screaming and yell at you for 90 minutes on TV to get in shape.
Right.
Sitting in front of a tube. You can get into the gym 15, 20 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a week, and get into phenomenal shape. In fact, I call it the perfect routine. I encourage people to get into the gym 3 times a week, whether it be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and just do a couple of body parts. Say on Monday, do chest, shoulders, and triceps. 2 or 3 exercises. Get out of the gym in 20 or 30 minutes at the most.
Right.
Do legs on Wednesday. Do shoulders and arms. Do back and biceps and abs on Friday. Real simple, real easy. I'm not trying to sell a program here. Just that's it. It's simple. Get in. You don't know how to do the exercises? Go on YouTube. Somebody's going to show you how to do the exercises. If it doesn't look like they're doing it correct, they're probably not. So find somebody else who's doing it correctly. But there are a lot of programs out there. We have one called Old School New Body that's very successful. But the bottom line is you don't really need to find a program. What you need to do is get into the gym, do some resistance exercise a few times a week, build some muscle, and that's really about it. And eat good.
Right. And a lot of the people that are on the line, I mean, the panel is mostly women over here, and I'm sure that a large portion of our audience is female as well. So like when you say chest, I mean, we're not thinking like doing like 200 pounds on some bench press and everything. We're just talking about doing some little light exercises, right? And when you talk about resistance, some people may not be familiar with that term. Could you, just describe that a little bit, or even show us one quick exercise you could just do, like as you're standing there, just to keep yourself occupied and feel good about yourself?
Resistance is basically adding weight to the way your body would ordinarily move. So everybody talks about, you mentioned the bench press. Your chest is actually a pulling muscle, not a pushing muscle, but yet everybody does the bench press to try to enhance their chest. Your chest is designed to bring your arms across your body. So when you're doing a bench press, the reason you use a bench press instead of a flight is because you could use more weight. So what you do is you're concentrating on bringing your arms across your body while you're pushing that weight up. My wife and I, she's here somewhere. If she walks in, I'll let you see her. But my wife and I have been married 31 years. Kath, if you can hear me, come in here. I got 3,000 square foot of office space. I'm not sure if she can hear me. Here she is. No, get your mother. Get your mother. Well, okay. The mic is on.
I love live hangouts. It's perfect.
Yeah. My wife and I have been married for 31 years. We've been working out together for 31 years. In fact, after this, we're getting on my Harley and we're going to the gym.
Nice.
So what we do is we work out similar. Sometimes we work out together. Sometimes we just work out at the same time. But her big concern was when we first got married was, am I going to look like a football player? She didn't want to look. She didn't want to get big. She didn't want to look like a football player. And she doesn't. She's actually a couple pounds lighter than when we first got married. And she was in great shape when we got married. And she's had 4 children. We got 2 grandchildren. Lifting weights will not make you look like that unless you're genetically predisposed to that. Some women may have more testosterone than others. If that's the case, and you probably know it, then what you do is you just you play with the weights a little bit, maybe do a little bit higher reps. But 99.9% of the women out there are not going to be burdened with that. In fact, 99.9% of the men out there are not burdened with putting too much muscle on. That's why they go out and do illegal substances to do it.
Right.
Here's my wife right now. Let me have her. Oh, she's making sure her hair is appropriate. This is a quick hangout. Jump in here. Jump in here. Just give him a gunshot. 31 years of marriage, and she's a grandmother.
Look at that. You know what? I say double guns. Double guns. I'll get a picture.
You're right here.
Ready? Diesel. Look at that.
How many? They took a screenshot of you.
Of course we take a screenshot.
You're going to be all over the internet.
Yep, it's going front page, Daily News.
How many grandmas look like that? She's been lifting weights. There you go.
Beautiful.
Actually, this is probably better.
There you go. Thank you. So that's
anyway, that is a main concern. It's a main concern of my wife. I've got 2 daughters, same thing. I just got back from training my 1 daughter. The key is maintaining some muscle. Am I against cardiovascular exercise? Absolutely not. I do it myself. This is what. Do you have time for me to tell you what my day looks like?
You got a minute and a half. Go right ahead.
I can do that. I don't do much in the day. I get up at 4:30. I read my Bible. I pray. I get on my stationary bike for 30 to 45 minutes just to wake me up. I don't even do it for cardiovascular exercise. I like doing it. I get to the office by 6:30, 7 o'clock. I work 10:30, 11 o'clock, unless I've got something scheduled like this. I'm in the gym for a half hour. Get back to work, grab a bite to eat. Before I work out, I drink some amino acids, and then I work till 5 or 6 o'clock at night, theoretically, usually 10, 11, but that's it. I try to eat 5 or 6 meals a day. I eat protein and vegetables. I try to stay away from complex carbohydrates because they make me fat. That's it. I weigh 206 now. When you met me, I weighed 235.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't look overly fat there. I just look like an out-of-shape football player.
You always look gorgeous to me. Don't you worry, big guy.
I love it when you flirt with me.
It's the best. Right.
Any last questions in closing? I'm grateful for having this.
The bottom line is, you covered it. You're keeping it simple. It may not be easy for people to follow, 100% right off the bat, but you're keeping it simple. You're giving solid advice. You're not telling people to starve themselves. You're not telling people to stick crazy diet routines.
A lot.
Yeah, you're giving sensible routine, and that's really what it's about. But even more importantly, again, I know you weren't on at the very beginning, but there seems to be a running theme with organizers and people that are happy doing what they do in their own situations, but it's about planning. And if you plan on doing a little bit of exercise and eating a little bit healthier, you're gonna end up being happier and feel better about yourself in not too long a period of time.
Let me make one point.
Please.
Everything that we do in life, whether it be organizing your house, and all the rest of the speakers can confirm this, I'm sure, whether it's organizing your house or organizing your fitness schedule, it's all a habit.
Right.
You get up out of the same side of the bed, you put your same shoes on, you eat the same way every day. 99.9% of the things that we do on a daily basis is pure and simple habit. If you want to get in shape, get rid of bad habits and develop good habits. Do it one at a time. You want to get your house clean, develop good habits instead of bad habits. You want to walk around with shoes that are shined, get in the habit of getting your shoes shined. You want to look neat and clean. The lady who was on before me, I'm sorry, I forgot the name. She had beautiful glasses, a nice shirt. That's a habit. She's used to making sure that she looks appropriate. Me, I wear black shirts. You know why? I travel a lot. It's always easy. I always make sure that everything matches. Thank you for having me on.
John, it was my pleasure. Thanks for being here, buddy. I really appreciate it. And you're one of the busiest guys I know. So for you to make time like this for me and work with me on the prep and everything, it's really taken to heart. So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I did it completely selfish, Adam. You're a big star on television now. I want to be aligned with you as you go on the Home Shopping Network.
Stop, you're making me book.
This is completely. I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate. I've been watching throughout the day.
Yeah,
it's been wonderful. Everybody's doing a great job.
Thank you. Hold on, I think John Paduchek has a question for you.
Yeah, before John runs, Julie actually had a question for him. I'm just going to have Julie unmute and ask. So go ahead, Julie. You want to unmute and ask John your question? Maybe not.
You can ask it for Julie.
I'll ask for it. Julie asked what I would say is really kind of a common question. She said,
Julie asked me.
There you go.
I need to drink. I know I need to drink more water, but my challenge is I want to drink something besides water. I'm not a tea person. I'm not a coffee person. I used to drink Diet Crack, which is my nickname for Diet Coke. And I got off that, and that was a really bad habit. But I need more options. Do you have any suggestions?
I hate drinking water, Julie. What I do is, and I do try to, but what I do is I put like a little bit of lemon juice in it. What's also good is, and I do this a lot, is I'll find, Crystal Light. I'll find Crystal Light that's made with stevia, which is a natural sweetener versus the dextrose and stuff that's in Crystal Light, and I'll put it in there. I don't typically have it at a full serving. I might have a half a gallon of water, and then the little packets that you're supposed to put into a pint. I'll put that into that. So it makes it more enjoyable. Does that help, or are you looking for something that's like really tasty?
Yeah, no. I mean, and some people on the chat gave me good ideas for juicing and adding lemon and ginger, and because I'm recently married and we both gained weight and we exercise, we just like to eat. He's Italian, so I've eaten more pasta in the past 18 months than in my life, so looking for some options.
I do want to make one comment on juicing, and I don't want to contradict anybody because I didn't hear what anybody said, but I'm not a huge fan of juicing simply because the fat burner, if you're trying to lose fat, if you're a marathon runner or whatever else, it's great. Jack LaLanne always juice. But if you've got a weight problem, juicing isn't always the best unless you're doing mainly vegetables, simply because you're drinking a lot of sugar. And the fiber that's in the fruit itself is actually what will help your body burn fat. So I would say just if weight is an issue, and it doesn't look like it's an issue for you, but if somebody's listening and weight is an issue, just be a little cautious with the fiber aspect there. Maybe take the fiber from the other end of the juicer and eat it or do something with it, because the fiber is so important.
Nice. Good tip. All right. Awesome. Well, John, thanks again, buddy. Let me give you a little, well, not a little, but a really big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Wrap It, the world's greatest gift wrap organizer. www.wrapitgiftbag.com